Welcome to Papa's Workshop. In today's video, I want to talk about the xTool RA2 Pro Rotary accessory. This little guy is absolutely amazing. In addition to that, in a lot of the commercials that you see these little pins, but you never really see how to use them. Often they just depict having a ring on there that they're engraving. Well, there's more than one way to use these. And I've added this little tip on there. I want to show you that too. I just finished doing some little shot glasses just like this. They're very small and the regular jaws could not work, and even the little double jaw was not going to work. I had to come up with a different solution to be able to engrave these little small shot glasses. Those pens were the perfect solution, but I had to use them in a little bit different way. The pens themselves were excellent, but the problem was the metal to the glass made it where it would still slip. I needed to have that protective tip on the end of it. Once those tips were on there, I could slide this shot glass into position and then use the tail module to hold it exactly where it needed to be. That was the solution that I needed. So what are these tips? Let me show you. Went down to the big box store and I found these little protectors right here. This is what I used to be able to put onto the tip of those pens to make it work and hold that glass in place. Now that the tips are in place, they're going to provide the necessary friction to be able to hold that glass exactly where it needs to be. Since there's no clamping action now, you need this tail module to be able to hold it in place. Now this is a close-up of the package that I had used. You may not be able to find this specific brand, but that's okay. Any type of a screw protector that would be of a number 10 should do just fine. It's a little bit snug going on, but it works well. You can see it in action here. As the cup rotates, it does not slip at all. It holds it exactly where it needs to be. Now this is the little test cup that I was using just to make sure that everything was going to work correctly. In LightBurn, I have a brand new window opened up. I want to come over to the laser and I want to select my D1 xTool, and that will give me this layout. From there, come up to this new icon right here, and this is the Rotary. I have the chuck selected and I've enabled the Rotary. This is working off of the Z-axis. That's that little plug-in on the very front of the circuit board. I have this set as a generic 1435 millimeters per rotation. From there, these are the only two figures that I key in. The diameter of the glass will automatically put in the circumference. If I put in the 2.0 inches, it instantly converts that to the 6.28319 inches. But in my case, this little shot glass was 1.5 inches in diameter, and that converts it right over to the circumference at the 4.7. That's the two numbers that I key in, and that's it. Everything else is done right here. Now this is where I've made some significant changes in how I get the correct proportions. I grab the rectangle and I put it into the middle of the work area. The height on this glass is very small. The working area that I have to be able to engrave is really only about an inch. So I will set this rectangle to the size of the engraving area. From there, I'll put a test glass onto the laser and actually use this until I get the portions correct. No longer do I put a long skinny rectangle and make the glass go a full revolution to make sure that it's correct. There's really no need to. If I have this rectangle size on the space that I need to have the text, that's all that's required. The only thing I need to do is just make those adjustments into the computer and change the size of the square until it's the exact size that I actually want. From there, bring in the logo, bring in the text that you want, and it will fit right into that square. The next step is to make sure that in this case, the word bridesmaid is the most important thing. It needs to be elongated because this, one, is round, and two, it's tapered. What I have found is I need to be able to expand this anywhere from 7 to 10%. In addition to that, I'll need to mirror it. So I went ahead and mirrored the image, then I changed, and in this case, I went ahead and used 10% to expand it. The reason that I use 10% is because this is such a small glass and it had a significant taper. I want to put the text now back into the center of the square. So you can just highlight everything, come right up there to the little bullseye and click on that, and that moves it dead center. At this point, I just need to verify that I have the correct power and speed, and I'm ready to be able to engrave this glass. It's important to note, make sure that you turn off that blue layer. That little rectangle you don't want to engrave. And you notice in the cuts and layers, I have that turned off. As far as the speed and power, I'm using 762 millimeters per minute and 60% power. This is saved in my library, so I do not have to remember it. It's just there whenever I need it. The word bridesmaid, that was the most important part of this test. I wanted to make sure that these letters were proportioned correctly. The rest of it would just fall into place. So by taking the actual image and expanding it out about 10%, worked perfect. Now this will take a little bit of experimenting, and that's okay. That's part of the fun of doing this laser. Well, there you have it. I hope that you can understand the importance now of being able to use those pins in perhaps some non-traditional ways. You don't just have to use that when you want to engrave a ring. You can use it in a whole lot different manner. Now that was the point of this video, is being able to really touch on that. But I know there's going to be some other questions. How do I prepare the glass? Well, I use just an Art Time tempera paint. This is nothing special. It's just a craft paint, and it's a tempera paint. So it's water-based. What do I apply it to the glass with? Just a simple, inexpensive foam brush. Will there be a few little streaks or lines? Yeah, there will be. But that's actually okay. If you wanted to get a perfect finish, you could get it set up with a little airbrush and spray it on. I'm going to be trying that out too in the near future. But that's how I prepare the glasses. Once the paint is dry, I set it up on the chuck and I'm ready to engrave. It is important that you make sure that it's level. I removed the tempera paint so that you can see how I use these little rubber tips. And this will just simply slide on. And then you bring up the tail module and tighten it down. That way it's not going to go anywhere at all, and it's going to be free to be able to rotate. Of course, this needs to be level. Now with the X2 Rotary Attachment 2 Pro, you do have the little level that comes with it. I use just a little scrap piece of wood to be able to raise this up until it's level. So I simply just take this, lift this up, slide the wood under it, and then I can move this until it's perfectly level. And there you have it. It's perfectly level. If I rotate this around 180 degrees and check it, I want to make sure that it is level. And I can make those small adjustments like this very easily. If I need to raise this up just a little bit more, I can do that. Rotate this back around, put it on, and there we have it. And you can see it's perfectly level now in both directions. If I rotate this around, put that on, perfectly level. I want to thank everybody for watching this video today, and I hope you was able to pick up a few tips on how to get more use out of your xTool Rotary Attachment 2 Pro. It is a remarkable tool, and for me, it's invaluable in the shop because I do engrave an awful lot of glasses for family and friends. If you found this video useful, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And while you're there, go ahead and hit the little subscribe button and the little bell notification. I'm going to be doing a lot more of the videos on the xTool and the attachment, and a whole lot more. You're not going to want to miss out on the different videos that I'm uploading. So again, thank you very much for watching. I also want to give a special shout out to all of my Patreons. The support that the Patreons give is invaluable to the success of this channel. In addition to that, all of you out there that watched this video really does help out. Without you, it would not be possible to continue this channel. So I thank each and every one of you very much for coming, visiting, spending some time with me on my channel. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye-bye now.